and you're actually still in charge.
That is 100% accurate.
But like when
they
you're
like
in high
to think
school,
that they're helping.
You don't know what the fuck that means.
It's true. It's
you
true.
don't know how to do that yet.
No, boys like to think that they're helping.
Boys are stupid.
Boys are stupid and easy to trick.
And then we're back at the newsroom, and Claire's like still like, oh, I feel so. Oh yeah, because Asher's like, stay, we'll like work through it, whatever.
Yeah, they're gonna work together through the night. I'm like, cool, that's a great idea.
And then Claire's like, I feel so much better. Yay, whatever. Okay, sorry, I was so like crazy. And he's like, there's nothing wrong with knowing what you want. And I was like, ew. And he like touches her again, and I'm like, ew. And then he goes to like kiss her, and she immediately dodges it and is like, what are you doing? And then she runs away, and it's horrible, and I hate it. And we called it. We called it.
We super called
it. And it's extremely topical, which I still hate. But also, Degrassi, kind of ahead of this Me Too moment, but also the Me Too thing has been happening for like a billion years.
It's a true fact.
So like, not actually ahead of it, but like, great that Degrassi is talking about this like 5 years before like the world was talking about it on a global stage. I don't know.
Pretty cool.
Good job, Degrassi.
Good job.
But then part 2 starts with, it's like the next morning. Claire's in her sad gray PJ look, and she is clearly traumatized, and she needs to tell somebody. And then Eli comes over and like brings over a bunch of papers because he's excited because he thinks the article is going to be running. And he calls her Milady again, and then
which I always hate. And also, they find out that Asher didn't print the article, which I feel like we both saw coming. But also, Eli, why didn't you look through the paper first before you bought 10 papers?
Yeah. Also, I would find it. I mean, I do know that newspapers work on a different kind of a schedule, but like, if you're working late on this story, I feel like there's a deadline you need to meet to like actually send this shit to print, and it's not like 9 p.m. the night before it ships, you know?
It's true.
I feel
it's
like
a fair point. Although we have no like real timeline on how late they were there.
That's true, but also like she turned it in at, I don't know. I feel like it's not that hard to believe that it didn't print like the very next day when like a high schooler turned in a newspaper story.
Oh no, I fully agree.
But maybe that's just like adult eyes on the situation.
Also, he should have just checked the paper before he bought 10 of them.
Yeah. And then Eli's like, this was supposed to help me get into Tish. And she's like, I'll talk to Asher about it. We'll figure it out. And she's not telling him about what happened. And then we're with
Maya, and Mo comes over and calls her a puck bunny, which I didn't care for.
Yeah, I don't get the term puck bunny. It's weird. And then she, like, goes over to Cam and is like, you need to plan our next date, basically. And I'm like, okay, I guess this is happening. And he's like, okay, I'll figure it out. And then Mo comes over and is, like, asking about, like, Whisper Hug. And he's like, what about the next hit for Whisper Hug? And she's like, oh, sorry, I was distracted. And he's like, I thought you were better than this. And, like, I didn't know you were a puck bunny or something like that.
Something like that.
Okay, calm the fuck down, Mo.
It's a shitty band called Whisper Hug.
And then we're with Claire, and she finally tells Owen, and she tells Allie about what happened, and Allie is there and is a homie, and she's like, why aren't you telling Eli about this? And Claire's like, I don't want him to freak out again. Like, he's doing so well. And it's like, girl,
can we stop protecting Eli?
Yeah, can we
also
stop trying to manage all of his reactions?
Can I just say,
he's a person.
He is a person. Also, can I just say, plus he's medicated, he's fine. Allie's face when she hears there's about to be gossip is magic. And it's also my face when I hear there's about to be gossip. I get excited. It's a good face.
And fucking Allie is also like, you should tell Miss O
that
is sexual harassment. And Claire's like, no, it's such a good internship. La la la, I can't do it.
Girl, it's an internship.
It's just like heartbreaking. Just to see the fucking power this guy has.
I hate this guy. Ugh. I spent the entire episode just screaming, fuck this guy. I hate this guy.
He's awful. And then we're with Bianca and Casey, and Casey's like, guess what? I kind of set my mom up with Mr. Townsend, and if we win our quiz thing, she said she'd go on a date with him. Hey! And then they kind of start dishing about, like, his accent and everything. Mm-hmm. Like, how could you not fall in love with him? And it's kind of nice. This is the most I've liked Casey and I'm surprised by it. Like,
Me
it doesn't
too.
totally annoy me in this. Like, I'm not annoyed that we have, like, a Casey subplot. It's very strange.
I think this is maybe the very first time for me as well.
Yeah.
Like, all right, Casey. You help your mom out.
Yeah. Maybe it's because it's in service to his mom, and it's not actually about him.
Yes.
And then we're with goddamn Asher, and Claire, like, goes back to her internship, and she's like, I wanted to talk about yesterday, and he's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I'm
going
really
through a
stressed out
divorce.
lately. My wife wants to divorce me, and I'm like, none of this is a valid excuse. This is terrible. I hate you. You're stupid. And then he says something about how she's, like, very mature for her age, and I hate it.
Hate it.
And he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, your article is actually running in a better spot in this What's On section on Friday. And it's basically, and then he's like, oh, I'm going to a press conference. Why don't you come with me? And it's all just like bribing her for her silence.
100%. And it is gross to watch, and she's falling for it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. And then we're with Maya and Cam.
And Maya's
blowing
blowing
Zen
this.
Garden.
I think so.
And she's like totally freaking him out, and is like, well, what about you? What about your game? Aren't you awesome? I don't know. And he's like, I thought you didn't care about this. And she's like, whatever, like, tell me about yourself. And is just being too much and kind of freaking him out. And then does she like spit on him? What happened?
Yeah, something like that. And he's like, I have a different shirt. I gotta go anyway.
And he
bye.
stands up, and she goes to kiss him, and she kisses his ear, and it's extremely awkward and painful to watch.
It hurt me. It hurt me deep
so
inside.
bad. It was not good. It was hard to watch.
Truly.
But then we're with the teacher, that Mr. Townsend, that Casey's trying to set his mom up with, and his teacher, like, kind of also knows what's happened, but he's also like, I'm flattered that you'd want to do that. And it's also clear that he's interested, because he's like, is your mom single? Hey.
I mean, Casey's mom is hot, so that is valid.
He and Casey kind of have, like, a little bonding moment, and I'm like, oh, he's already becoming a father figure.
It's very sweet, and I enjoy it.
And then we're in the car after the press conference that Claire and Asher have gone to, and he's just like leering at her, and it's creepy as fuck.
It's creepy, and also, but then he shows her the article, and she gets a byline, and she's first, and it's the thing, and then
not like the car situation, and he's touching her again, and then he goes in to kiss her, and he's like, "Come on, no, it's okay, like we don't have to tell anyone," and she's like trying to escape the car, and he locks the doors, and she's like, "No, I need to get out," and he's like, "No, it'll be okay," and then she like runs away, and then he like drives away, like, all pissed off.
It's horrible.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Terrifying. He's such a predator. I hated it. It's horrifying. I did not like it.
You know, the Degrassi writers wrote him really well, because we could tell that he was smarm, like, right away.
Yes. And then we're with Casey and his mom, and Casey's like, hey, guess what? Mr. Townsend said he likes you. He asked if you were single, and his mom is clearly, like, mortified about this.
But she's also kind of into it, because she goes to, like, change and stuff.
Right.
I'm like, Casey's mom kind of wants to fuck this guy.
But then we're with Claire and Allie, and it's so sad. And Claire's like, I should have said something the first time. Like, I don't know. Like, it's not fair. Like, even if I tell someone, I'm gonna be the one who has to leave, and it's not fair, and it's horrible. And she's like, I'm gonna go back. Like, I need to go back. And I'm like, no, please, can we tell Miss O about this, please? Like, we need to tell an adult. Oh God. But then we're in French class. French debacle
time.
And Maya and Tori and Tristan all, like, put their books up and start texting behind them about, like, the kiss situation. And they're like, how's your hockey cutie? Like, what's, like, did you kiss him yet? And Maya's like, oh no, I missed his ear. It was horrible. It was so awkward. And then the teacher
But then she also mentioned something about him making millions in the future, like referencing something that Tori said, which is worse.
Oh, I don't even remember.
Yeah,
that.
Like, it's horrible.
And then the fucking teacher catches them, and not only does she make them not only does she read the text out loud, she makes them translate them into French, which is fucking brutal.
Honestly, respect, though.
Yeah. And Cam is in their class, and it's really embarrassing. And
horrible.
It's horrible. And then we're with Claire, and she goes to fucking Asher's lady boss, which I was like, oh, that's a good move. Let's go to the boss. And then we learned that Asher had put in, like, a complaint about Claire the day before and was like, she's stalking me. It's kind of inappropriate. La, la, la.
He's
and
just, like, preemptively, like...
Yeah.
Like, tarnishing her name so that she stops being credible. So then the
lady doesn't believe her and is like, your obsession with Asher has gone too far. And then Claire is like, as a woman, you have to understand me. Like, this is what happened. Like, he is the inappropriate one. And the lady's like, my hands are tied. My hands are tied. You have to leave. My hands are tied. And it's awful.
It's horrible. And she's like, well, we have all those tweets and the texts and the phone messages, which he has receipts that are misleading.
Yeah.
So, as much as I'm like, fuck this lady boss.
Fucking bullshit.
As much as I'm like, believe women, fuck this lady boss. She also... Asher has receipts. And
it's terrible.
Like,
it just
so she's like,
sucks. Nah. And then we're with Maya, and she's confronting Cam, and he's like, I thought you didn't care about, like, my hockey thing. Like, all these other girls just want to glom onto me because they think I'm, like, popular. But I thought you were different, but it turns like you're just like all the other girls. And she's like, what? No, I'm not. What the fuck? And it's like, God, fucking trust issues, Lord.
Horrible.
And then we're with the quiz team, and it looks like they won their quiz thing. And then Casey's mom gets a phone call, and I'm like, oh, his dad's coming back.
Yep.
And then she pulls him aside, and he's like, you have to go on a date now. And she's like, guess what? Your dad's coming back. He's
also,
just getting out of jail.
She opens with, we have to talk about Kevin.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, okay.
All right. Oh, God. And then we're with Claire, and she, like, storms into the newsroom and confronts Asher and is like, you sexually harassed me in front of the whole staff, and it's very dramatic, but I'm like, fucking yes, tell him that he did that. You have nothing to lose now.
Claire.
Fuck this guy.
Claire, harness that drama energy you hold.
Yes, exactly.
This is the most and best way to use it.
Seriously. And then she's, like, escorted away. Or some guy tries to escort her away, and she's like, don't touch me! And then she leaves, and it's great. And then we're with Maya, who's, like, playing the cello in a sad, mopey way. And
sad cello playing.
Sad cello. And then Cam comes back, and he's like, so I also don't have experience with it. Like, they're both, the whole deal with both of them is like, we've never done this before, and we're really bad at it. And he basically comes in and is like, I've never done this before, and I'm really bad at it, too. And then they kiss, and it's adorable, and I love it. And I'm shipping them a lot. And I
Me
like
too. I'm so on board.
It's very nice.
They're so cute. They're just so cute.
But then poor Claire is with Allie, and she's confiding in her about it. And she's like, doesn't even feel like she can go to the police because Asher has so much pull. And she's like, no one's going to believe me. This is the worst. And she's still is like, I can't tell Eli. And I'm like, can we stop tiptoeing around Eli? Like, he can, like, react the way he's going to react. Like, calm down.
And he's very stable. He's doing really well.
But also, like, Claire doesn't have to tell anyone. She doesn't want to. But still, it's like, I don't know. She's like, he'll kill him or something. And I'm like, that's not your problem.
No.
But I love her and Allie's friendship. It's very
too.
Nice. And Eli got her like a framed version of her article, which
is
like, seems very nice.
It's a very sweet gift out of context.
Out of context, yeah. And she's like, great. And he's like, now you'll always remember it. And she's like, that's why I'm always gonna remember it.
Pretty much.
And then the episode ends. It's a lot.
It's a doozy.
It's just so frustrating.
It's a doozy, and also I just didn't enjoy it very much.
Yeah. It's a frustrating episode. Spirit Squad Captain. Claire, I guess? For fucking going through that shit.
And standing up for herself at the end. Cam, for, even though he was like, he jumped to some assumptions about Maya based on how she was acting, realized that was probably not how she normally is because he knew her pretty well and looked past it and came back around.
Cam like realized he was in the wrong for being like, you're not like you're just like all the other girls.
Yeah. He saw the real Maya beneath the Maya who was trying too hard.
Jesus. Ship Cam and Maya, duh.
Hell yeah.
Cam and Maya, duh. And like, honorable mention though to fucking Casey's mom and that teacher. I was kind of into it. Although fucking Kevin's coming back, and that's going to be a whole fucking shitstorm.
It's going to be a time, you guys.
I wonder what his dad went to jail for. Was it also drugs? I guess we'll find out soon.
Oh my God. I'm actually kind of looking forward to. I want to know what his dad went